Hey everyone, my name is Virginia Jimenez, and for those that don't know me, my name is Virginia Jimenez, and I'm coming on today because I made a choice. I made a choice recently to start recording at least once a day, every other day for this month of April. For those again that don't know me, I am a coach, and I've done lots of challenges, self challenges like this, not necessarily publicly sharing, but I decided to go ahead and share it. And today I wanted to talk about why you know enough, to start whatever it is that you want to get started. I think that it's been 2 years that I left my corporate job. I left my cube and decided that I was going to launch my own business. And one of the biggest obstacles for me was the idea that I needed to know a lot more in order to actually monetize on what my business is about, and for me to actually validate that I know enough. And it's what happened was that there was this vicious cycle. There was a cycle that, once I learned something else, then I was like, wait, but there's still more to learn, so I have to go learn that. And then I discovered once I learned that, there's like this other opening. It's almost like this gap, would open up. Like, oh my God, wait, I just jumped in this, river, and I'm discovering that there's a cave in there that has another river inside, and I need to keep going through that one. And then you're discovering that, wow, there's a tunnel in the cave that has another river in it, and you just want to keep swimming and swimming and swimming and swimming. And it's like there's never enough. There's never enough. Never enough. Like you're constantly going, and you don't stop and say, wait a minute, I've already explored all these things. I can actually, from this information that I've already gathered, this experience that I've had so far, I can actually develop this. I can actually create this. I can actually help somebody solve this problem, And so that's what I wanted to talk about today, because I for one, I spent I wouldn't say a long time. I think a long time is more than a year, but I think I spent several months just agonizing over, oh my God, I don't know enough. I need to know more. I need to figure out more. I need to get another certification. I have a degree. I need more degrees. I need a PhD. I need all these other things. And once I get all those other things, then it's going to be okay. Then it's going to be enough. And what I recognize is that it would never have been enough, because again, like that analogy of like the river flowing, and there's another river that connects to it, and then there's another one, and it just keeps expanding and expanding for miles and miles and miles. It could be never ending, that we still have lots to learn, but you have enough information already to start. The biggest thing is not learning more, because you're going to learn anyways. You're going to learn through the process. I mean, if you're an entrepreneur or you want to start a business, you have some information already. See if you can solve somebody's problem with it. It doesn't have to be the grand scale of things. You don't have to necessarily decide, hey, well, wait a minute, my grand vision is that I want to, be somebody that can be on Oprah one day, on Oprah's own show. That's true for me, right? I want to be, on own show. And in order for that to happen, then I have to have all these things, and my website has to look a certain way, and I have to have my social media pages on point, and all these things have to be in place, and it has to be perfect almost. So we suffer from this like agonization of it has to be perfect, and it has to be that way, and it has to happen now, because we live in this era of instant gratification, right? We want it right now. And what I'm telling you is that no, it's, we got to go at the speed of life, at the speed of the seed, as quickly as the seed grows. Like, think of a mango tree. I like mangoes. So a mango, like you get the seed, you throw it in some dirt, it starts to sprout. It takes months for it to actually grow into something. And then it takes even longer time for it to actually grow a mango. And they are only seasonal. So only certain times of the year you get it. And hopefully the first round has really good mangoes. So the whole point of that is that, yeah, you got the seed, plant the seed, start seeing if this, test it out in different environments and different, nutrients and different soils, right? Talk to people, see what problem you can solve for them. I mean, as an entrepreneur, that's the biggest thing. And use what you have. And you know what? When you encounter that there's a big problem that you want to solve, you want to solve for them, and you have at least some of the pieces for it, like let's say 80%, wow, man, go for it. This is an opportunity. It doesn't have to be 100%. It doesn't have to be perfect, because you know enough just to get started at 80%, let's say. And the reason this was like such a big deal for me is, again, because I myself was feeling like I needed, several months back, maybe a year ago. I hired a coach for myself. Obviously, I'm a coach, so I take my own medicine. And one of the biggest things was realizing that that was an obstacle for me. That was the biggest obstacle for my business, is that I felt that I didn't have enough or know enough just yet. And I have a lot of content, a lot of information. I don't know everything, but I know a lot of things. Enough to help somebody with some of their problems in their businesses. And what I'm saying to you is that you probably know enough to help somebody else, serve a company, serve an individual, that you don't need to go out and hustle on getting more education. You can still continue learning as you're already offering your services. You don't have to hold back. You know enough. And I keep saying you know enough because I want to like drill that in. I have a client right now that a coaching client who reached out to me because she wanted to leave her job. So one of the biggest things is that, in business, you have to like, I for one left my job, right? I had this idea of like, well, you know what? I've tested different things while I was working in corporate America. And I decided, you know what? I'm going to leave my job and I'm going to pursue coaching, right? And I didn't know exactly what that what that land looked like, what that would look like for me. I had not asked for help. I didn't talk to many other coaches. I had never been coached. But deep down inside, I knew that that's what I wanted to do. And I was like, I was determined. I'm going to make this work somehow. The thing is, I had already tested certain things out. I think it's important that that we do test things out and see, okay, is this an idea that I can just move forward and actually execute on? You do know enough for certain things, but know that if you're going to venture off in something new, you want to be certain, or at least close to certain. I wouldn't say certain, but you want to know that you're going to commit to really like test, staying true to it and being determined that you're going to see this through. And that if you fail, which, I would put that in quotes, because failure is like one of these opportunities that you can actually learn something big about yourself. It's just an opportunity to grow, actually. If you encounter that, the challenges, staying determined to make that, to continue to learn in the process. What do I need to learn in order to get there? That is how we do it. We don't need to go and learn all these things and acquire all this information and stick it in our minds and like file it away for later. When you need it, when you actually come up with, that moment where you actually need the information. You start looking in your mental filing cabinet and you're like, oh yeah, that's right. I took this course, but guess what? I know that this will lead to another opening. There was something else in that frame of thought. What's the word I'm looking for? There was something else in that text, let's say, right, that you were learning that leads to something else, and now I know at least I have this, but I need this. So in those moments, that's when you really like grab hold. Okay, you know what? I have the information. I at least know where to look for it, and I can serve these people. And I'm staying determined to making that happen. You have enough. You have what it takes. So I'm going to close off with a quote that I read somewhere because this was really good, and it just kind of brings everything in together with just this understanding of you already know enough to at least start and do something. And it's that, it's not a lack of resources that stops us. We got Google, we have we have so many places to get new information and resources. It's really the lack of resourcefulness. So the biggest thing is like actually taking actions, just taking small steps, being confident with that, being confident with just taking the small steps to get to where you want to be. So I'll leave you with that. And until next time, be sure to subscribe to this channel for more of these type of conversations around just getting past the things that aren't serving you. This channel is actually meant for moms that are on a mission like myself, or I should say moms like myself. Whether you're single, not single, you're an ambitious woman that really wants to make things happen in your life. You want to harmonize. I like to say harmonize instead of balancing. It's not really about balancing because we're always in movement. We're always doing something. There's always something going on. So if you're a mom like myself, feel free to subscribe to this channel and we will connect later on. If you have any questions, feel free to comment below and I'll see you later.